Coffee and, the longest-running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question of the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email coffee@woonsocketradio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee and panel.
It is Coffee and time here on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us. It is Wednesday morning, September the 24th, having their own conversation about my hair. I don't know why, but
everyone should jump online and watch right now. Weigh in your vote. What musician is Joe mirroring with this volume of hair he's got going on right now? Wow, the
volume of hair.
It's voluminous.
What's weird is it's all in the front and nothing in the back. It's the bizarrest hairstyle.
Like an opposite mullet.
It's an opposite.
Business in the front, party in the back.
It's an opposite mullet is what's going on. I look great from the front, lousy from the behind.
That's what the kids all these days are doing, the alpaca. It's like they've got real short hair in the back, and then all the hair is like giant front loaded. And they're always doing this.
Brush it forward?
No,
it's not a brush it forward. It's they let it grow forward.
They do that. It's weird.
Oh, well.
It is. It's called the alpaca. I don't know.
And all I want to do is just brush their hair out of their face.
Take a razor and go, join the military.
You look cleaned up, Joe.
Well, thanks very much. I'm all cleaned up. Very good. All right, that's Melissa Smith, everybody. Hi, Melissa.
Hi, with no volume in my hair. I have to swap stories and products later.
Tim Draper's here as well. Good morning, Tim.
I have a bald spot.
Well, so do I. Anyway, hi, Tim.
Good morning. Good morning.
All right, and just one quick announcement. We made a change. I'm going to take John Ward and put him on Thursdays.
Yay.
So John's not here. He'll be here tomorrow.
All right, John.
He hasn't gone anywhere. So
good luck with Bob.
Good luck. Well, it's good because they got.
So who's on that panel?
So
Bob Lauder, who's very far to the left,
okay.
and then there's John Ward, who's very far to the right. And then we're going to throw in Bill Murray tomorrow just to keep...
Oh, the moderator? Oh, this one.
He's going to keep them in their corners.
Well, I don't know.
Bill
tends to... Bill's probably more middle of the road.
He is a little more middle of the road, so that'll be tomorrow.
You need to identify a female personality to sit between. I think you need to balance these panels out a little bit. So I can be the rose between two thorns? Is that the whole thing? We are, yes.
Oh, no, that's a great idea.
We've said you should be bringing in Amanda with you. Like the two of you should sit here together and have a little exchange and air out some workplace laundry.
Oh, boy.
But, Melissa, it's time for our first message, though, from the San Antoine Communities.
San Antoine Communities, yes. So for those of you that don't know a lot about us, we are a long-term care community located in North Smithfield. On our property, we have the Villa at St. Antoine, which is a 76-apartment assisted living facility, and we have St. Antoine Residence, which houses our brand new memory care assisted living unit, Primrose Lane, which is 24 private suites, as well as our long and short-term skill care side of the building, where we have a fabulous rehab unit with a fabulous team out of our Easy Street Rehab, as well as a secured memory care unit and hospice services. So if you are in need of any level of care or you just want to explore your options, please feel free to reach out to me. You can call me at 401-767-3500 or email me at msmith@santantoine.net.
All right, Melissa, thanks. Well, as we all heard about the altercations, if you want to put it that way, the fights at Woonsocket High School.
Yeah, you know what was
now
weird?
we're up to 13 people arrested.
Did you hear about this?
I just did yesterday because I have some coworkers who have kids in the school system.
What was weird is I was listening to the show on Monday when you had the superintendent here saying how great everything is in Woonsocket. And the fights were going on while he was here.
Wait a minute, they were saying everything was going well in Woonsocket when Friday they had like a whole sewage
Well, he talked about
issue,
that.
Right?
They had a backup. The pipes did not burst.
Yeah.
They just had clogged pipes. Ooh. And they were having trouble unclogging it. So the best way to fix it, according to Dr. McGee, was, we need to close down all the toilets so we're not adding. Right. And so the plumbers can work on it. So that's what happened there.
Yeah.
And they said, and everything turned out fine. And yeah, he was on Monday saying, okay, the school year has started and everything is going great. At the exact same time, the fights were taking place. Now, not that we knew this,
right?
And he wasn't contacted during the show. I feel terrible.
That's a lousy position to be in.
It was. Now, to bring it up, Channel 10 has got the story. Tonight there is a Woonsocket School Committee meeting. It's their monthly meeting.
Yep.
And we carry it right here on the station, but it's going to be, I don't know if it's going to be contentious, but it's going to be crowded because Woonsocket parents plan to make their voices heard at tonight's Woonsocket School Committee following the fights that broke out this week. The bursts of violence have led to several shelter-in-places that took place in the school, leaving students and teachers concerned for their safety. Channel 10 says parents, teachers, and residents will share their concerns about what's been going on at the high school this week. 13 people arrested. Now they say none of the fights were connected and no weapons were used.
Okay.
but that's odd that 4 fights would break out. How are they not connected? It seemed rather organized, but I could be wrong on that. Okay, there is an increased police presence over at the high school. Many are still on edge. The police chief, Thomas Holt, suggested the school department may want to consider funding another school resource officer for the high school.
How many do they have? Just one?
They have one, and we had the chief on 2 weeks ago. And there is one school resource officer who's at the high school the entire time the kids are there. But if 4 fights break out at 4 different spots in the school, how can he be everywhere?
You were saying, and I think Melissa was saying too on Monday, that as a teacher, you can't get involved in any of that, right?
Physically, you cannot get involved.
You have to stand back and watch it occur.
Well, you can say, "Please stop."
Well, okay, that's
like that's going to help. And then you got to call. You got to call for the resource officer.
Right. But if he's in another fight, like you said, what are you going to do with the other?
But even at this point, would you, even if that wasn't the rule where you're not allowed to jump in there, I don't know if these days you want to. You know,
you don't know.
A teacher, right?
Right. No, she's OT, but yes.
OT. I'm sorry.
No, that's right. But she's in school system, right?
Or I even asked John's wife
if he were
here. But it's that feeling of like I don't even know anymore. Like, I have tons of friends that have been teaching now for 20, almost 30 years, and one of them is up in East Providence. Fights break out all the time, and she's like, "Man, you have to be so careful that you're not caught on a video. That you're not." She's like, "I'm so much more hands off than I was 20 years ago when I started. It's just awful."
I remember seeing fights in school, and the teachers would literally take people by the collars,
rip you
throw
off.
you into the locker.
But
to stop the fight.
But you went to Bishop Phoenix, so it was a private school, so it's different.
Well, different. But in the middle school, they would do that too. Bruce Villanova would be pulling people apart if he needed to. Mr. Bama, he would throw those
Wow,
Villanova
was a PE teacher.
They would not hesitate to get in the middle of those scraps and pull kids apart.
But that was also 40 years ago,
right? And it also didn't happen as often.
That's right.
So one of my coworkers has a son in the middle school, so they was getting all the alerts from other moms and whatever else, and she graduated from Woonsocket High School. Yeah. And she was saying, I think what's hard is she's seen some of the videos that have been passed around. She's like, I see teachers that I had in the background, and they just look so. I mean, look old. Everyone looks old, right? You've aged. But she's like, I think that's the hardest part. Yeah. Seeing these teachers that I knew way back when, and they had all this energy in life, and now everyone's just defeated. And I don't think Woonsocket's unique. I think it's just the culture in schools now.
But I think the rules are stacked against the teachers. Totally. Like, you can't do anything.
Well, like,
there's nothing you can't say anything.
Yeah.
You can't identify students who need additional help. Mm-hmm. I mean, I guess you can, but it's backwards. It's so, I get the students have rights and all that other stuff, but it's so
when we had Melissa Murray on Monday, and they're going to review this again, or they're going to look at it again, because they want to put in an amendment to that law about teachers not being able to touch or grab or separate fights, and put in an immunity clause, kind of like a Good Samaritan law.
Yeah.
So they can get in and separate.
Yeah. But to Melissa's point, do you want to?
Oh my God.
You never know. Pull a knife out of their pocket,
or you just go in to grab and pull back, and like if you're touching the wrong,
right. Are the kids going to gang up on you for trying to stop the fight?
They might.
You might need 4 or 5 people to do it. But.
We have issues even in healthcare. There's lots of laws surrounding like restraining someone who's having some cognitive issues and like proper techniques for restraint, and you can't hold your hands in certain places, and you can't. And it's a lot to remember when you're in the moment, because you're just trying to make the situation better.
Going.
So I can only imagine these teachers when you have kids involved with phones and cameras, and it's a yucky position for everyone involved.
So the school committee meetings does start at 7:00 tonight. If you want to go, it's at the Hamlet Middle School. We'll have it for you here on ON Radio. So will there be a lot of yelling? I don't know.
Is Paul Bourget still the chairman?
Yes, he is.
He's pretty good at managing a meeting.
We'll see. And you read online, and that what I've read online is parents are saying, and they always say, well, something's got to be done.
What do you want to do?
That's right.
Let's put metal detectors in the buildings.
No one puts up an idea of what we got to do, but something's got to be done.
No, but then the ideas that get put up that will definitely add to safety, they don't want to do. It's invasive. The kids won't like it. Whatever the case might be.
I don't care if the kids like it.
Well, see, that's the problem. We don't care if the kids don't like it. Yeah. But if their voices are loud enough, there's going to be people out there. They're going to be, well, if the kids don't want it, then we don't want to do that.
Well, I was happy to see that the kids were suspended that were fighting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but now what are they going to do?
Right? You mean be at home?
That's my point.
Know.
I mean, you're suspended. Is it in-school suspension? Probably not.
No, I think it's just suspension.
Okay, so stay home. Oh, great. Now they're not learning, and they're home creating more havoc.
But they're not learning at school. and they're creating more havoc for the kids that want to learn at school, so it's good that they're out.
So now they can plan together without supervision.
Okay. And what I want to know, well, how old are they?
Well, if they're in high school, right, they got to be...
Yeah, but are they 19? Are they 20?
I don't know.
You know?
It's a good question. I don't know.
So I don't know there.
And then there's
as
a flurry of stuff that these leaders, the administrators, the principals, all those tier people that have to worry about attendance rates and graduation rates and all the things. Like, you could do that. You can keep suspending kids, sending them home, but then they're also worried about bodies in the seats and how that's going to impact their funding and how it's going to impact their ranking. And there's even in the best school systems, there's a push with all those narratives, right? What do we have to do? In my own school system in North Smithfield, I'm on a committee for a school improvement team, and all we talk about is attendance and how to improve attendance, and getting kids in the classroom means better outcomes. Where do you start with Woonsocket with some of those matters? You know what I mean? And
is it an issue in North Smithfield on attendance?
No, it's been addressed through this team. I think all schools were challenged. This was a governor's initiative because he came on the air one time and I talked to a member, and he actually came out to one of the meetings and featured our town because it's improved, because our measures have worked and the efforts that we've made have improved. And of course, some cases, like, we've come up with ideas about, it's a little bribery, right? Like, there's rewards and celebrations for showing up, you know, and even if you improve that measure of attendance by 1 or 2% over the course of a school year, that's an improvement. And all of this initiative came up on a state level since COVID, trying to get kids back to the classroom, coming out of their homes from stay-at-home learning. And I worry that cities like, Woonsocket and Providence especially, we've heard about Providence's issues for a long time now. They just can't get their footings. And then you add the phones, you add the violence, and these are things that you can't even, factor in.
Well, there's data out there, I'm sure, about what the causes of why the kids don't go to school, right?
100%.
So
there's lots of factors. I mean, in our own town, where the volume of call-outs and absences they pale in comparison to what maybe Woonsocket's data would kind of come up with, but largely due to mental health, largely due to overcoming fears of anxiety and stress and fatigue. I think these kids, at least in our town, the perspective I have shared about my own kids who have good attendance or had, even with my oldest, there's just so much that's expected of them. The good grades and keeping up with these classes and sports on top of it. And then, you gotta have theater, you gotta have music, you gotta have this well-rounded, you gotta do community service and clubs. And it's all those factors. And for some kids, like, even, I can say this now because she's graduated, so I'm not breaking confidentiality, but even the valedictorian and the salutatorian had high absence rates in our town. And so those were the outliers, and those were where, like, the committee really were like, wow, like, they're still succeeding even with being absent. So I think in some ways there's just kids that are motivated in life and success. But when you're talking about different challenges, like in a Woonsocket school system or a Providence school system, there's other variables, there's other factors. It's not going to be measured the same as a small rural town like North Smithfield. So anyways, going back to the fighting, it's just one more thing against them. And I feel for the principals and the teachers trying to right the ship and, get them in the right direction and inspire kids that want to learn when you have these interruptions.
Right.
I thought about that when I was graduating high school. You're filling out your applications to go on to college, and you were told by teachers and guidance counselors, okay, get good grades, participate in a sport, do extracurricular, volunteer, have a paying job, but keep getting good grades.
Right.
And so you're up to midnight every single night, and then up at 6 a.m.
Right.
Like,
what's a really fascinating exercise? I'm like reliving. I feel like I've been numb for an entire year, going through like senioritis with my daughter last year. But right now it's application time for kids wanting to go to college.
Yes.
So now I've got friends with their first kid going through the process, and I'm such an experienced vet, and here I am, right?
You know what to do.
And I think a healthy exercise would be really, like, for kids that aspire to go to college, to take a look at the application your freshman year to see how many holes you have to fill out in an application. You can't jump in and look at that senior year and hit the panic button and suddenly like, oh God, I have to join like 5 clubs.
Make all that stuff up.
And I think that was healthy for my youngest, who freshman year was like, I'm not doing anything. Like, sports, that's it. I'm not doing clubs. I'm not doing whatever. She saw her sister's application process. She saw the school she got into, and now it's like, all right, I kind of need to jump in a little bit and do a few extra things. But it's a lot on these kids. It's a lot. And I think just that added piece is what colleges expect today, this full-rounded, and this because of all the holes they have in their application, and you feel like you have to fill all those buckets. It's a lot of pressure.
I remember joining my senior year of high school, junior achievement,
Junior
For the
achievement.
only reason is so I could put it on a college application. I could have cared less about junior achievement.
Yeah.
But I was on it. I went to the meetings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did whatever we had to do, and so I could say, "Oh yeah, junior achievement my senior year."
Right.
Did it make a difference? I don't know.
Oh my gosh, we have this argument in my house all the time about the fact that I've always brought my girls to work with me. It's just always been back even when I was in the community. You're going to come to the congregate meal site. You're going to serve meals to seniors. It's summer break. You're going to come to my adult day. You're going to whatever. They've always been a part of my work. And my youngest has probably done the most amount of hours at St. Antoine. So she's there as much as I'm there, if possible in the summer. She's old enough to work now. But my point in sharing this is, so she just thinks such a shoe-in for volunteer hours. And I'm like, well, no, like that doesn't count. That's mom's work. You need to
go somewhere else.
You need to be elsewhere. You need to help others. You need to see that there's more than just elderly, which is a much, deserved group to have, you help out and run an activity or do some work for me in the office or whatever. But you need to go to a food pantry or you need to go to an animal shelter. You need to do other things.
There's a lot of great nonprofits around that.
There really are, but I think it's just I should, and I have friends that say, "Well, you should just be grateful that she wants to go where you work is a needy place to help out." And I'm like, "Well, that's expected. That's helping mom. It's different,
All right, we're gonna take a break on the Coffee and program. We do have a note to get to. We will when we come back. But Melissa, time for your second message from the San Antoine communities.
Right. So, summer is officially over, and so there is an uptick, of course, and calls from folks that are pre-arranging their rehab stay with us. And I'm sharing that because I think it's an important message. I don't think a lot of people recognize that you can actually coordinate your rehab post-surgery. So if you have an upcoming hip replacement or you have an upcoming knee replacement, you can reach out to Robin Noderer or St. Antoine residents, and you can find out if your insurance will cover your stay with us. Things to take into consideration. My own mom, for example, had a double knee replacement and did rehab with us at St. Antoine residents. You have stairs in your home. If it's not easy, you have to visually think through the obstacles that you may have in your home following a major surgery. And rehabbing with us, one floor environment, wonderful rehab team is a very fast track to recovery. So I just like to share that in advance because not a lot of people know that you can check out our facility ahead of time, but also having that plan in place saves you the fear and anxiety that might take place when you're at the hospital and they're about to discharge you. And you suddenly panic and realize, I can't go home. So that happens a lot, and you can still choose us, but we may not have a bed available, right? So you kind of want to plan in advance. So if you want more information about that process, you can reach out to me at 401-767-3500 or email me at msmith@santantoine.net.
Very good, Melissa. Thanks. And more of the Coffee and program coming your way. Stay tuned.
Join the Coffee and panel weekday mornings at 8 on ON Radio.
This Halloween, thrills take over. Six Flags New England bring the whole family for Kids Boo Fest. Fun and games. But when night falls, haunted mazes and monsters awaken. Experience the fright, if you dare. Only at Fright Fest. Sponsored by Snickers. September 20th to November 2nd at Six Flags New England.
I'm Matt Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Your car steering wheel could be a ticking time bomb. At least 24 people have died and many more injured because their airbags fired shrapnel at them upon inflating. Tens of millions of cars have been recalled. If you suffered cuts that required stitches, hearing or vision loss, or broken bones, please contact us today. You could be owed money for medical bills and other damages.
Morgan & Morgan. Visit us at badairbags.com for an office near you. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with a Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
The Coffee and panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee Roasters. All their coffee is roasted right here in Rhode Island. Down East Coffee Roasters is available at all Little General stores.
ON, AM, and FM.
It's Coffee and here on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan here with Tim Draper and Melissa Smith. We got a note called in, 766-1240.
About your hair?
Not about my hair. They're okay with it, I guess. But it's actually for you, Melissa. Can you just talk about the bench fundraiser at St. Antoine?
Oh, well, we have kind of two bench fundraisers running parallel right now, right? So have our ongoing, we have a beautiful walking path on our property, the John St. Severe Walkway, and we have some benches there, and we've had some families donate $4,000 to actually have a plaque put on that bench and memorialize their loved one who may have passed. And then we have another bench fundraiser that's just started up over the last couple weeks, and it's actually positioned right in front of our Rose Garden where our statue of Mary is on the John St. Severe Walkway. So we're just collecting donations to help to offset the expenses of that bench that's being installed hopefully soon. I think it's been
purchased.
Are those
granite benches, or are they regular benches, like
regular
steel wood?
Like steel ones are the traditional ones on the path. This one is a Polywood brand that was purchased, and so we're collecting donations right now. So if you're interested in helping us offset the cost of that bench, and like I said, it's positioned right in front of our statue of Mary. We recognize when we designed the walking path that folks would want to pull up maybe their wheelchairs, their walkers, and say a prayer in front of Mary. But now some folks would like to linger a little longer and sit in a moment of prayer. And so it kind of all ties in. We have a memorial mass coming up on November 2nd for it's a private invitation only for our family and friends who have lost folks over the last year. And this is just tying into that, kind of build up towards that mass and event. So if you want more information about it, you can reach out to me. You can even jump online. We have a donation page. You can just put in the notes section what the donation is for. But yeah, thank you so much for the caller reaching out. I'm going to assume who it is, and I'll drop her a note later. Her. Good morning, Paulette. 50% of the population. Exactly. Exactly.
Right, very good. All right, other things going on. As I've said before, things might be not so great in your community, but they could be worse. They could always be worse.
Always be worse.
Is anyone paying attention to what's going on in Coventry?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
No?
I might have missed this one.
The Coventry Town Council voted last night unanimously to place two high-stakes measures on next month's meeting agenda. One, the removal of the council president, Hillary Lima, and the termination of the town solicitor, Stephen Angel's contract. The votes came after months of controversy over access to Angel's legal invoices. Several councilors and former members have argued that the bills, which include work on litigation, such as the Johnson's Pond public domain case, have been heavily redacted and not fully available for review. One of the councilmen who introduced the motion said the restrictions placed on reviewing invoices left him questioning transparency. So there's real fighting going on down in Coventry.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm going
Stephen
to,
Angel. Why do I know that name?
He was just he and there was he was representing some city or town, I think, and he was having a romantic relationship with another government type official, I believe. And I'm trying to remember the story.
That's kind of all I had in my head,
and they both had to resign from their positions.
Interesting.
He was
It wasn't.
He had the same kind of role with Cranston, where he had.
That's what it was.
Where he had to resign.
That's what it was.
He resigned last month as council attorney there,
Cranston.
following speculation over an alleged relationship with the council president.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. So I recognize the name, okay. And oh wow, fascinating.
And the town council president Lima was not at Tuesday's meeting, so she did not vote on this. He was to remove herself.
He was the chairman of the board of Dexter Credit Union when we merged with Dexter.
Oh yeah,
and I will leave it.
Oh my God, I remember Dexter Credit
Union. Wow,
leave it at that.
So and he didn't stick around too much longer after that. So it could always be worse.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So and up in Massachusetts. Now this doesn't affect you guys too much.
Affects you.
It affects me a little bit. And it's the old thing of this is why we can't have nice things.
Oh.
What did you do, Joe?
Not me, but as you know, as we've all traveled throughout New England, you go up on the main turnpike, you go up 93 in New Hampshire, and the service areas.
Yeah.
Aren't they beautiful?
Yeah.
Aren't they wonderful?
Yeah.
They have everything you could
Common
possibly.
Man, the liquor stores are right there. The
gas stations, electrical charging
New Hampshire
stations.
And you're like, this is a rest stop.
Yeah, it's like this is a resort.
Well. A company wanted to do that in Massachusetts, all along the Mass Pike.
Yeah.
They wanted to what's that?
They have rest areas along the Mass Pike.
But they're all like fast food joints. They're not like what you've got.
Nice ones.
Right.
Well,
okay.
So
they wanted to redevelop 18 highway service plazas around Massachusetts. This company called Apple Green.
Yeah.
Okay. They pulled out.
Because it's too much bureaucracy and.
I'm sick of dealing with you people in Massachusetts, and then their competition was threatening to sue them.
Yeah.
we're just walking away.
Well, listen, it's the argument that I have over here with the rest area that they put on 295, right? The one everybody made fun of because it was on the way out of Rhode Island. So welcome to Rhode Island. Okay, you're out of Rhode
Going to
Island.
Massachusetts.
Yeah, they put it on the wrong side.
But Dunkin' Donuts went in there originally,
Yeah.
and
Was
were
there, what,
subsidized.
3 months?
Well, no, it was a little longer than that, but they were
All right.
subsidized by the state for a period of time because there's not tons of traffic, but it was just a Dunkin' Donuts, and I think there might have been a Baskin Robbins there as well. But then there was another guy who I actually worked with, I think, at the gas company, who took all of his money and sunk it into developing like a country store for that location. Right? Do you remember that?
Yes.
And
then word came out.
Yeah, the federal government came in and said, you can't do that.
You can't do it.
And we were all like, why?
Why?
Well, because it's next to the highway, there's like 300 feet or 400 feet of buffer on the highway that the federal government runs, and they own it, and they'll tell you what you can and can't do. And they basically said that, no, there's a law that says you can't sell products off the highway in that buffer zone. I'm thinking to myself, how does every other state
Can have this.
How can the Mass Pike have it? It's not a federal, and maybe it is a federal highway, but it's funded through tolls, right? Everybody else gets it, and we can't do
Same in
anything.
Maine
And this poor guy
New
lost
Hampshire.
lost his shirt
Yeah.
on that because he sunk all his money into it, and then they kicked him out.
So this company, Apple Green in Massachusetts, indicates that after months of negotiations with the state, they were unable to reach an agreement on definitive terms for the project. They also indicate that costly litigation threats by the opposing bidder, Global Partners, have jeopardized the timeline for financing the project. Global Partners sued to block the 35-year agreement between Mass DOT and Apple Green, alleging the contract was ethically compromised. So they just said, we're going to go to another state, probably not Rhode Island, obviously.
So one company said, "Oh, somebody knows somebody, and it's I know a guy who's going to get the contract, and that's why."
Yeah,
It's
I
interesting.
can't tell you how many times I've been, and it's you're gonna laugh because this is your commute every day, but like 95, for some reason, whenever I'm coming from my in-laws up in Peabody and I'm coming home 95, if that's the route I chose to go or the traffic allows it, I always need gas and I have to go to the bathroom. It's almost like a victory that you've made it through the city, through traffic or whatever, and you just want to get past Braintree, and I'm always like, I'll just stop in Sharon or I'll stop in Mansfield or something.
Yeah.
And those first few exits coming on 95, so what is that, like Walpole, Sharon? Is that Walpole?
Yeah,
no,
Canton.
Needham, Needham Heights,
Yep.
whatever. I need a spot there.
There
Can
isn't
someone
one.
just build?
Yeah.
There isn't one there, and I feel like for all
I
those
bet they
people that know
can't.
what I'm talking about, when you get through the city and you might hit 45 minutes of traffic, you might hit 2 hours of traffic. You can't tell,
Yeah.
but your goal is to get past Braintree and just get to that 95 South Belt, and I just
Why-
need a spot there with gas, a bathroom, and a coffee.
I just don't understand why it takes so long to go through the process of this decision. Right?
Oh, I don't know.
Why does it take so long to say, we're going to take this dumpy, rundown rest area, and this company wants to give us 20 million, this company wants to give us 25, whatever the case might be, pick one.
Pick one.
Just pick one.
Just pick one.
And let them do what they got to do. And now all of a sudden you got a great rest area that
They-
everybody stops
And
at.
they're
It's
always
generating
busy.
money for you.
They're always busy.
And there's one north of Boston on 95 or 93. But you don't want to stop there. It's got maybe one vending machine for candy bars, one for soda, and the bathrooms are.
Oh, this isn't like a
awful.
real. This isn't like a real rest stop.
not
That's
really.
just purposeful. Yeah.
Like the ones in New Hampshire are beautiful.
Beautiful.
Like you want to pull off. It's
You want to
There's,
stop.
there's 20 gas pumps.
Yeah.
There's now
No
electric
waiting.
charging stations. There's a gift shop. There's a general store. There's a. I mean,
Yes.
it's a destination
Restaurant-
in and of
restaurants.
itself.
the average consumer is filling up their tank, getting something to eat,
Right.
possibly going to the liquor store and making an investment to bring back home with them.
I might have stopped there.
And for-
Yeah,
every
so
time
you're
I go.
spending at least $200 by the time you walk out of there.
Right.
It's genius.
And
Yes.
and for the people in this area, northern Rhode Island, southeastern Mass,
Yep.
the drive to that rest area in Hooksett, New Hampshire, is basically 2 hours. It's perfectly
It's actually
timed
less than
for
that.
us.
It's less than that.
Is it?
Yeah, it's
It's the perfect time to get
It
off.
is.
hour and a half.
See, it's about that. It's about
It's like
thinking
an hour and a
through
half.
these routes.
Hour and a half down
Yeah.
to 45 minutes. Yep,
Okay.
to that to
Yeah.
Hooksett
So
rest
it's a
area.
perfect time to
Yeah.
get out,
Perfect
stretch your
time.
legs.
It's perfect.
Get something to eat, fill up
Yep,
the car if
and
you
then
have
it's an
to.
hour
Yeah.
up to exit 32. That's
And if-
my commute.
And I've done this before when it was just the guys. You wanted to get out and stretch your legs. We get out a wiffle ball bat and a ball and play baseball in
Yep.
the
Yeah.
parking lot if you wanted to.
Yeah.
And no one said no.
Right.
Right.
And
No one
there's
came up and
plenty
said you
of
can't do that. 'cause
plenty
there's
of parking.
There's plenty of room.
And it's always got people in it. It's not like it's empty. It's
Nope.
always got people
And
on
on both sides of the highway.
On both,
North-
literally
north-
the
north and
opposite
south.
sides.
Yeah,
Right.
it's the exact same thing. So, This is why we can't have nice things.
This is why you're here. So we're just, yep.
All right, we're going to take a break here on the Coffee and program, but more coming your way. And time for the forecast right now, brought to you by Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
A 50% chance of rain showers today, cloudy skies, and a high of 69 degrees. Up to 1/10 of an inch of rain is possible today. Tonight, 1/10 to 1/4 of an inch of rain is 60% likely. Showers, especially after 3 a.m., patchy fog, cloudy skies, and an overnight low of 61. Thursday's weather, 80% chance of showers and thunderstorms possible, especially after 11 a.m. New rainfall amounts between 1/2 and 3/4 of an inch of rain are possible on Thursday. Friday, partly sunny skies and 79. Saturday, mostly sunny and 78. Sunday, partly sunny and 77. Monday, mostly sunny and 77. And Tuesday, mostly sunny, 73 degrees.
Outside the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Ave and Kennedy Street with cloudy skies, no rain just yet. We have 64 degrees. For victims of drunk and drug driving, your grief is unique, but you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call the 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org.
They say in business you don't last very long if you don't know what you're doing. And if that's the case, we must know a thing or two at the Carew Investment Group, because we've been in the business since 1987, helping people just like you with their investments. At the Carew Investment Group, we employ a conservative approach to client portfolios by using only the best quality companies available, many of which pay quarterly dividends. We look for opportunities that we expect to go up in value not every day, but over time. And we take our responsibility seriously and always place our clients first in any investment decision. If you'd like to know more or would like a free portfolio review of your current holdings, you can call Paul or Ed at 765-8880. Our office is located at 2190 Mendon Road, Suite 3 in Cumberland, Rhode Island. And we'd love to meet you and see if we can help you with your investing journey. Securities offered through Bolton Global Capital, member FINRA and SIPC, and advisory services offered through Bolton Global Asset Management, a registered investment advisor.
Krakow Deli Bakery Smokehouse offers authentic homemade Polish food to make your next meal special. Try our many varieties of hot and fresh pierogies with onions and what they call dirty sour cream. Or pick up gołąbki, kielbasa, babkas, or some fresh rye bread. We also offer a large selection of specialty and imported foods. Open Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, 9 in the morning till 6 p.m., Wednesdays, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturdays from 8 to 5 p.m. It's Krakow Deli Bakery Smokehouse. Follow us on Facebook and learn about our weekly specials. Located at 855 Social Street, Woonsocket, Krakow Deli Bakery Smokehouse has all the authentic Polish foods you love.
ON Radio.
It is Coffee In here on ON AM and FM. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan here with Melissa Smith and Tim Draper. And Tim, guess what? Time for first message from Navigant Credit Union.
Hey, you guys remember we did that senior safeguard over at the Elks Lodge?
Yes.
On Clinch. First of all, great turnout. The Elks, we love them. They're a fantastic group of people and helped us out a lot. And we had a really good seminar, about 80 people there. And if you remember, we basically show you a video vignette of some scams and how they work and the people who have been affected by them and what they've lost. And then we have a panel that talks a little bit about how to prevent those things and that. Well, the scams are changing. People are doing different things all the time. Right now, there's a gold scam going on. If nobody's heard about that.
I haven't heard this one.
I have not heard
So
about
gold
that.
right now is valued at almost $4,000, I think, an ounce. I think it's way up there.
Okay.
It's really at its highest it's ever been. And people are basically saying, take your money out of the banks. It's not safe. Buy gold. But then these gold dealers are not real genuine gold dealers, so they're making you send them money and they really
You don't get the gold.
So that's a
Okay.
scam that's out there right now. So just be aware of that. But the thing I wanted to tell everybody is we're going to do another one of these fraud awareness seminars here for Northern Rhode Island. This time we're going to do it at the brand new, beautiful Cumberland Lodge at Diamond Hill.
Oh,
So if you'd like to do it, it's November 5th. So if you got a pencil and pen, pencil and paper, write this down. November 5th at 10 a.m. at the Lodge at Diamond Hill in Cumberland. We're going to go through a senior safeguard seminar. It's probably about an hour and a half. We'll do a similar format. And if you would like to attend, you can call the following number and ask Amanda. Speaking of Amanda, 233-3108. That's 233-3108. Ask Amanda to put you on the list, and we'll have you registered for the event, and you can go. It's like I said, 10 o'clock on November 5th, and I think you will enjoy hearing if there's anything different out there in the world of scams and cybersecurity, and there are. So please feel free to sign up. That's what Amanda wanted me to do that today. She
All
said,
right,
please.
Very good. I did read last week, 2 weeks ago. The romance scam is still out there, and preying on men.
Yeah.
This time, I guess widowers, and they end up the scammers end up sending you a picture. They say which is of them, which is a very attractive female. Mm-hmm. You're not even talking to a female,
right.
First of all.
Right.
They have gotten
AI-generated voice, probably.
Yep, but they're very good at being patient.
Right.
And they will stretch this out for months.
Well, that's exactly how they gain their trust and confidence, is they talk to you, and then all of a sudden,
and then they need
hey,
money.
Listen, I need money. I got a business venture.
Yeah.
Or
it's always a little, and then it keeps growing.
And it gets growing.
And the one I read, the person said that they almost fell for it. They had a friend, and the same thing was happening to their friend.
Yeah.
Oh no, she really likes me.
Yeah.
And so the first guy said, "Does she look like this?"
Yeah.
It was the same picture.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
And that's how they found
and,
it.
And I'll tell you, we show one of the videos is about this woman who lost $2 million in a romance scam.
Oh my God, that is
her
so
life
sad.
savings. So I'm just telling you, it is bad out there. I get text messages every day trying to get money from me every day, and it's hard to differentiate between what is real and what is not.
Yeah.
And I think what's going to happen is eventually it's going to come to a point where you're not going to be able to trust anything you're getting online. You're going to have to be proactive about learning, or calling companies.
I think we're there.
If you get that Amazon call that says, "Hey, we got an order for you. You got to click here in order to have it scheduled to your house."
We can't find your address.
Yeah, right.
You found it yesterday.
So you're going to have to go on Amazon and go, "What is it?"
Credit cards are directly emailing you about there's an issue with your account, and that is the one that you're probably most vulnerable to.
Yeah.
Because you're like,
there's
they're
a problem
emailing
with
my account. They have my email account. Makes sense. Let me open it up. As soon as you're opening it up and you're just providing one verification thing about yourself, you're in trouble.
Right.
It's
These are the things that we talk about at that seminar.
You can't trust anybody. Oh my gosh! Run for the mountains.
I
think it was
maybe there's something to be said for living in the
cash out your
Ozarks.
accounts and run for the mountains. I'm just kidding. Oh God, that's not the advice that
No,
Jim
don't
wants
cash
you
out
to
that.
have.
Put it in the bank. Put it in the credit union.
Not under the mattress. No.
Oh my gosh.
No, don't put it on the
We
mattress.
say to
That's
this
the worst
day when
thing.
we sold my grandparents' house after they both passed, they had moved here from Holland, and when my dad was 3, and my grandfather built that house. He was a mason, and we think about it all the time. That was a multi-million-dollar house. He definitely stashed cash in walls and areas that we don't know about because he was a very talented mason. So I'm sure there's move one brick to the right, and you're gonna.
Here we go.
We just
Somebody's
never.
gonna make a lot of money.
It's true. When they passed, we found a lot of stashed cash throughout the walls, but I'm sure we left a lot behind.
That might have been. Maybe it was that generation because my mother did that.
Well, they survived the Holocaust,
not in
so.
the walls. She would put it in drawers and in the closet.
Oh, yeah.
So that when we cleared it out, we'd go, "Hey."
I know.
yeah.
This is a
Like it was a
problem that we
surprise.
have at
Your
work
inheritance.
because folks that move in
Okay,
to our
yeah.
assisted living
Are they doing the
move
thing?
in or they don't have any dementia. They're not confused, but they live with us for 8, 9, 10 years, and then all of a sudden it's I'm missing money, I'm missing my jewelry. They're getting confused. Well, they've stashed it all throughout their apartment. So
now they
nursing goes
forgot,
in and they're like, "Well, you had it in the pocket of your bathrobe, or you had, whatever it is," and it's like they don't remember, and it's a scary thing when the switch flips and then you forget where your stashing points are, and but it's definitely a generational thing for sure.
All right. So this is not a good story out of Leominster, Massachusetts. A Leominster family, they're accusing immigration agents, they're accusing ICE of using a child to try to lure a man out of his home. Not illegal, but morally, is it okay?
Well, explain, Lurie.
Well, this is what's going. A man named Edward Hipp, who is from Guatemala, is driving home with his 5-year-old daughter in the car. He's driving home. They're being followed by the ICE agents. And when he got home, this is according to the story, when he got home, he ran into the house. The daughter did not make it into the house, and the ICE agents grabbed the daughter.
Oh.
And now they're yelling for him. Isn't this your daughter? Don't you want to come out and get her? And he wouldn't come out. I'm like, Dad of the year here, kind of thing. Eventually, the daughter was given over to the mother, and he was taken into custody when he left his house to go to work. Now, they claim they've been living in the United States for 22 years and have an active asylum case going on.
Okay.
But he is now in a ICE detention center in Plymouth, which is quite a ways from Leominster.
This is where I struggle with this. Because if they have an active ICE case, isn't that as simple as just making a phone call and saying, is this file actually exist? And then, okay, thanks, sorry about that. Then you're on your way.
But maybe they did, and maybe there isn't one. I don't know.
There isn't. I don't know.
But I thought of the 5-year-old who's got to be
traumatized,
scared out of her mind.
Right.
Traumatized.
And why isn't Dad coming out to get me?
And all these very large men with weapons,
right.
all masked up,
Again,
you can't see who they are, have now got a hold of me.
Father of the year.
Doesn't come out. Doesn't try to come out.
Because we don't care about the kid.
And then you don't know
what
are the legalities there, right? Are they holding her back? Are they restraining her from running into her house where her dad is?
Are they kidnapping her?
He made it to the house and ran inside, but ICE officials allegedly kept the girl from going in.
That's my point. Is that allowed? Yeah, that's a.
Well, they're not saying they're suing ICE because it's illegal. They're just saying this is what they have done.
Yeah.
Right.
So
weird.
I don't know. Dave Richards may have a comment.
Missed a couple of facts on that story.
Oh, what did I miss?
While the standoff was going on, because the little girl didn't run as fast as the dad did.
Well, right.
And so they grabbed her.
Well,
and
back to Dad of the Year, who was leaving.
They're holding her out there on the front lawn as bait.
Yeah.
Come on out here and show us your identification.
Yeah.
He said, "I will show you my identification. Come to the door, and I will pass it through the door."
Yeah. I guess I didn't do that.
I do not trust you if I come outside the building.
Well, it's good.
But they have my daughter.
Meanwhile, the mother is videoing all of this and calls the Leominster Police Department,
That's what I was wondering.
who then show up during the event. And they tell ICE agents, let the girl go.
You give her to her mother.
We'll have none of this in our town.
Mm-hmm.
You have no support from us. The girl went back to the mother. Nothing happened. Of course, when the guy went to work, they were waiting for him, and they grabbed him off the street.
Yeah, it does look...
Those are the facts that we didn't all hear in the first blush.
Yeah, the child was reunited with her parents, I guess, when they gave him to the mom. Gave her to the mom.
Right.
They went into the house, and now, now they're all together.
And they took him off
So
to
the
Plymouth.
Leominster police were involved and basically told ICE to pound sand.
And the Leominster police says, we'll not have this in our town.
Yeah.
You have no support from us, and you will do this, or there will be trouble.
I'm surprised ICE did it, actually. I'm surprised ICE did it.
Well, there's always a story behind the story. We don't have ICE's story behind the story because they do not offer it.
Right.
No.
Maybe they just
And
thought
so to be a good, upright citizen, I mean, I would always comply cheerfully with the government official, duly authorized and proving to me who they are. That's me. And 22 years is a long time to have an asylum case still going through the... Have stranger things happened in the federal government?
Oh, yeah.
What'd you say?
Yes, I have.
Because it's the federal government. And how...
Right.
Right. So in the meantime, they're obeying all the laws. And what can I say? He says, I'll give you my identification, but I'm not coming out there.
maybe they just think, oh, we got the girl. He'll come out. He'll be the good dad.
Yeah.
It's looking really thuggery, and the fact that
I know it is, but is it illegal?
And the fact, well, listen,
I don't know.
legal is what legal does, and the feds make the laws. So we'll see about that. That's a matter for the courts to decide. But for the purposes of our discussion, it apparently, when you look at all the things that were in the report, you have the Leominster police doing what they were told to do because they're sworn law enforcement officers. Their superiors told them, you will do this, and they did it. Mm-hmm. You have the ICE agents apparently carrying out orders from somebody in Immigration and Customs Enforcement. So those agents on the scene are doing what they're told. And it appears that you have some people who are here who did not go through the process, but are in the middle of the process. If this the asylum thing.
If you're in the middle
if
of the
it
process.
actually truly is active,
Right.
then they are going through the process.
It
And
sounds
so, yeah,
a lot like the case in Milford where they grabbed the 17-year-old.
That's right.
Right.
They
trying
did.
to smoke out his father,
That's
Yeah.
right.
Right.
which
Yeah.
eventually worked.
Right.
It makes you wonder, like going back to the legalities of, we don't really know what ICE is allowed to do and not do, right? We kind of just, and we're hearing these stories, and sometimes they've got uniforms on, sometimes they don't, sometimes credentials with
They're
them,
always
sometimes they don't.
masked. Yep.
But it just makes you wonder, going back to the legalities, if they know that there is a case involving a family, like children, why they wouldn't be traveling with always a social worker, always a family somebody that can handle children. My visual as you're telling the story,
Like ICE?
this looks terrible to me. I'm picturing, like you said,
Oh,
these
yeah,
grown
they-
men holding this 5-year-old little girl back.
Who was
It just,
screaming.
But if you
She
were
has
to
to be
tell me,
crying.
well, there was a family representative / social worker person with this squad that was available on the scene,
Well-
who they were with the little girl, whatever. Your visual just sounds awful. It makes
does
it
sound
extra
awful.
traumatic.
Yes.
But would you feel differently if you knew that they were traveling with a, let's call it like a soft voice person, someone trained that knows how to handle children, or
Yeah, this is
don't know.
blunt force. I don't think any of this is soft and fuzzy.
I know,
No,
it's
no,
yucky.
no.
It's blunt
It's
force.
it's not the child's fault, is where
Well,
I come
no.
from on this, right?
And if they say they've been here for 22 years, the
Right.
child was obviously born here.
Right.
She's an American citizen.
Right.
I just have.
All
So I
right.
appreciate Lemonster's
Response?
response, I
Yeah.
guess,
Okay.
in stepping
Good for them.
in. I do, as tax-paying residents of the town, and I appreciate that.
All right, we're going to take another break here on the Coffee and Program. So, Tim, time for a second message from Navigant Credit Union.
Just want to remind everybody that our debit card program is changing a little bit. So if you have a Navigant Credit Union debit card, you notice there's a little Visa on the bottom of it. It has been a Visa card now for a long time, but we are switching to MasterCard. So everybody is going to be receiving very shortly a brand new debit card, and with that comes a whole slew of new security features that are behind the scenes you really won't see, but we're telling you that it's a really good set of tools to protect your information, protect your cards. It also allows us and allows you a little more flexibility in your online process to talk to people, and for those people who are having to get to turn off their Visa if they lost their debit card. We think that the customer service at MasterCard's a little bit better, and so we're happy to be moving here to MasterCard. But a couple things you need to know when we do this: some of those automatic things that you have attached to your current debit card will probably need to be updated, although many will not. There's a process in the back that you won't see that some of these auto payments are just going to automatically fall over to the new MasterCard. That is not the case in all situations, though. So we are suggesting that if you have auto payments like a Netflix or something tied to your account, that you want to go in after you get your new card and make sure that the information in these accounts is up to date, so that you don't get late fees or anything like that. We've sent a couple of notifications out to folks just to remind them that this is something that's going to be happening. If you want to learn more about the process, you can go to navigantcu.org. There is a page dedicated to the MasterCard conversion, and we're very excited to become a MasterCard shop and look forward to your continued business. Thank you.
All right, Tim, thanks. And the Coffee and Program will be right back here on ON Radio.
First news and best variety of music. ON 1240.
That leaf pile is 100 feet tall. Your dad can't handle this. Not without the right equipment.
Yard work piling up? Gear up for fall with John Deere. Get $750 off select mowers, $2,000 off select Gator UVs, and $3,000 off select compact tractors.
Did I hear your dad got a John Deere? Yep, bad day to be a leaf pile.
Gear up for fall at an authorized John Deere dealer, now through September 30th. Learn more at johndeere.com/gearupforfall.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ON AM and FM.
All right, it is Coffee In here on ON AM and FM. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan here, along with Melissa Smith and Tim Draper. You know, sometimes when you get sentenced to life in prison, sometimes you get parole.
How is that
Well,
possible?
let me tell you why. This is in Salem, Massachusetts. A man serving a life sentence for a killing in 1980 stabbed another man in Salem. He was granted parole. The state parole board has voted to grant release to John Allman, who was convicted of first-degree murder for the killing of Paul Laguerre more than 45 years ago. Allman was under the age of 21.
Ha.
That's why, at the time of the killing. He was resentenced to have the possibility of parole because of the court ruling that found sentencing to young adults to life was unconstitutional, and that's how he got out.
Huh. Well,
and good behavior, I guess. So
yeah, hopefully
there you
good
go.
behavior.
All right.
Red from Shawshank.
That's what I thought. I love that scene.
I do too.
When he's talking with the
At
parole,
the parole board?
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's great. You think I've rehabilitated? I don't know.
I don't know. What does that word mean?
What does that word mean? All right. Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Star on the Hollywood
He's got
Walk
a
of Fame.
Hollywood Walk of Fame star.
Who doesn't love him? Is there a person in this world who doesn't love him?
I love him.
But everything I've ever heard about him, if you meet him, he's a miserable person.
Is he?
Yes. People that have gone up to him, like in airports, like little kids,
Oh,
want an
get
autograph.
out.
He brushes past him. He's not a very
Not a
nice
personable
guy.
That's what I've heard too.
Yeah,
Get
isn't that
I had
weird?
no
I hate
idea.
to ruin your image.
Yeah,
of
I don't
this
want to
guy.
know that. I don't want to know
Sorry.
that.
But yeah, so he posed next to the star for the photos. It was unveiled this week. The science educator, TV host, and climate change activist was recognized for making science accessible through his TV show, Bill Nye the Science Guy. Didn't he appear on the Big Bang Theory at least once?
Yeah.
I think he did. Okay.
Yeah. He also was in the Universe of Energy with Ellen, wasn't he? In the
Disney. Yes, he was. Yeah.
How has there not been any other, maybe I'm just not aware of it, any other scientist since him that has like come forward with like the type of teachings that he gave? Like everyone
like
remembers
another-
his videos in class. Everyone
Right.
remembers his like quirky personality and his
Because it
excitement.
rhymes. That's why.
You know, there's got to be someone, I'm sure, that's stepping up into that.
I'm sure someone else will come
Jalen
along.
Brown from the Celtics delivered a speech.
I
at
heard that.
At
Yeah.
that, the unveiling of the star.
He did?
Complimenting. Yes.
Having like a big impact on
his
his
life?
like
Jalen Brown.
education.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
great. He was very well spoken. The speech was very good.
All right.
You'll have to look that up, Joe.
The first trailer is out for Maggie Gyllenhaal's The Bride. They're remaking the Bride of Frankenstein.
Oh,
they're
really?
remaking it. Yes, it follows Frankenstein, who I guess that's Dr. Frankenstein, who somehow
Frankenstein, Joe.
Frankenstein, who somehow travels to Chicago in the 1930s in search of a doctor who. Oh no, it's the monster. Travels to Chicago in the 1930s in search of a doctor who can create a companion for him. And the two bring back to life a murdered woman to make the bride. What could go wrong?
Okay.
This
actually
seems very
is it a
dark for
comedy?
her
I don't
as an
think it's a
actress.
comedy.
Oh,
Well,
interesting.
The cast includes Jesse Buckley, I don't know, Christian Bale,
Really?
Penelope Cruz, Annette Bening,
Oh, wow. That's a pretty...
Peter Sarsgaard,
Yeah, Sarsgaard.
and Jake Gyllenhaal.
Wow.
The Bride will be in the theaters on March 6th.
So Maggie
both
Gyllenhaal
Maggie and Jake are in it?
and Jake are in it. So unless
that's
Maggie's
right.
just directing or something like that. So
I don't know.
She
we'll
might be.
see.
She does more directing than
Yeah.
acting these days, but very interesting.
That is an interesting concept.
Okay, I know you've all been waiting for this.
Wicked?
For nope. It's the reboot of Baywatch.
Oh, thank God it's back. Is the Hoff in it? I really need the Hoff needs to be in
Melissa's
it.
not impressed.
Are they wearing turtleneck bathing suits? Or,
I don't know. It's coming back to Fox. They voted 12.
Fox, no, definitely no
explains
turtleneck bathing suits.
They voted
then.
a 12-episode reboot of the Lifeguard drama, which was on for 2026 and 2027. The creators of the original series will serve as executive producers. Okay, the original was a mainstay of syndicated TV in the 1990s, airing for 11 seasons.
I forget how popular that
Starting in
I know, and I
1989.
watched
Very
it.
beginning.
I'm sure you did.
Oh, I did.
Too, yeah.
I forgot
Oh, yeah.
what show said it.
I think
but
I
it's-
lost it. It
it's-
jumped the shark somewhere around season 6 or something
it's,
like that.
It's men and women in bathing suits running in slow motion on the beach. That's all you needed. Fox Television says
It appealed to all varieties.
I'm
in its,
sure, yeah.
in its first run, Baywatch defined an entire era of beach life and elevated lifeguards to an iconic status. The cast of the reboot has not been announced.
Okay.
So I don't know if the Hoff is going to make
Hoff,
it back. Who's going to be in his 70s?
Oh, probably older
I
than
think
that.
his, I think his lifeguard days are,
Yeah, it
are,
might
are
be.
done.
I don't want to see him running on the beach without a shirt on.
So
And I don't think...
There's something wrong with that.
I think Pam Anderson's days and
Oh, she's done
are,
too.
are done as well
Right.
on that. So there you go.
She's too busy dating Liam Neeson.
Good
Is that
for her, by the
is that a
way.
real thing?
It's a real thing.
I think it is.
It is? Oh, okay. Did you see what she's done with herself?
Well, I think she's gone natural.
She has gone natural. She got rid of all the makeup.
love
She
it.
looks-
Yeah.
She looks completely
Really
different.
She does.
She does,
She
but I
doesn't
think
look
I'm
bad.
okay
She
with
looks
it.
different.
But
She looks normal.
She still looks good.
She looks like a human being.
She does look like a human
There's
being.
nothing
Okay.
worse than seeing someone aging and trying to fight the process, like
Oh,
and there's
with
a
the
lot of people in
fillers and the
Hollywood like that.
makeup and the tanning and the hair extensions and all the things. Just embrace it.
Right.
Okay.
You know, I
Be
think,
comfortable
who's
in
done
your
a
own
really good
skin.
job with that? Jamie Lee Curtis.
Absolutely,
Love
very
Jamie
good
Lee Curtis.
example.
She has embraced her
With the gray
aging
hair.
process. She looks
and
fabulous.
I
If
agree.
you've seen the movies Knives Out,
I have not
Yes,
seen it.
such a good movie.
Is it?
You would
All right.
love it.
Okay.
both of them are good. There's a third one coming.
Good. I
The
really
first
liked the first one. Was
the first
really
one
good.
with Jamie Lee Curtis in it is hysterically funny.
Yeah.
So, and she's great in it.
All right.
So okay.
I love her. She's one of my
I
favorites.
don't know if you remember this case. A Missouri woman who she attempted to auction off Elvis Presley's Graceland estate. Of course, she didn't
Oh,
own
I heard
it.
about that. Right, I heard about that.
Yeah.
Well, she's been sentenced.
Oh, what'd
she's
she
getting
get?
close to 5 years in federal prison.
Oh,
Right.
excellent.
54-year-old Elisa Findley pleaded guilty earlier this year to one count of mail fraud and received a 57-month sentence, along with 3 years of supervised release. Authorities say she forged the signature of Elvis's late daughter, Lisa Marie, and a Florida notary to falsely claim that Presley had defaulted on a nearly $4 million loan. Oh, wow. Using Graceland as collateral. So now it's mine to sell.
Is there still a big issue going on between Priscilla Presley and Lisa Marie's daughter? I think isn't there like a big family fight for Graceland?
The last
now?
thing I heard with Priscilla is she wrote a book and she was never very happy with Lisa Marie and Michael Jackson's wedding.
Yeah.
And how Michael Jackson was a terrible person.
Well, I believe
but
he was.
Between Priscilla and her granddaughter, I don't know if there's a fight going on.
I
there.
thought there was
either.
an estate issue there somewhere about Graceland and the control of Graceland and
We'll have to look that up.
Priscilla's still in charge, I think. And this woman, Lisa, part of her plea agreement, they did drop a separate charge of aggravated identity theft, so they get rid of that. So.
Oh.
And next year, Major League Baseball,
Yeah, balls and
electronic
strikes.
balls and strikes are coming.
the poor umpires are going to be sitting back there going,
It's
look like a
you
strike.
know you think that, but no.
They're gonna, they still call them, right?
Yes.
And then the
And then it'll be up to, well, the way they did it in the minor leagues, down in Worcester, this is funny, on games on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, okay?
Yep.
The home plate umpire had an earpiece,
Yep.
and the
someone
ball
in
would
the
come
booth?
in, not someone, a computer.
Oh.
Ball.
Strike. But they had to be there in case he fouled it off or something
Right.
like that. And so he would, whatever he heard, or she heard, because sometimes there's women umpires now, called balls and strikes. Games on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that's called by a person.
Yep.
But then now the batter will have two chances
Right.
throughout the game, only two to challenge. No, I really think that was a ball.
Each batter or
each
team?
each team only gets two
challenges for ball strike.
So you better use
Yeah.
them wisely.
Now, do you lose anything if you get the challenge wrong?
You've lost the challenge. Now you only have one.
Yeah.
And then if you do it again in like the third inning and you lose again, well, now you can't challenge for the rest of the game.
Yeah, okay.
And now we're going with what the umpire says.
Well, I mean, if you look at the whenever you
can't
watch a baseball
challenge-
game, they've got the strike
The box.
zone, the box.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're pretty accurate.
They are very accurate.
You know.
But once but you can't challenge when the computer is calling the balls and strikes.
Right.
'Cause
Oh, so you can only
can't
challenge
argue
I
with the
wonder if
umpires.
this is going to
Yeah.
start
Yes.
to be like, I just watched U.S. Open tennis. What was that? Wrapped up a couple weeks ago. Similarly, like you're watching that with your naked eye and you're like, no, that was totally in. And then they're calling it out. And I
Yeah.
never actually thought to see, are they already using like an earpiece with a line judge?
Yeah. Well,
And
there was
maybe
a,
it's
maybe
AI
that, yeah.
telling them, but to the human eye watching, you're like, there's no way that was out, you know? And
there was a call last night in the Red Sox Toronto game, foul ball over the third
Oh,
base.
yeah.
And
I thought it was foul, but the
I thought it was
team-
foul, but the team was not
No,
happy.
they-
But that batter, talk about a jerk. He was throwing his bat around and
Well, then
smashing
he was
his
called
helmet
out on
around.
strikes, which was actually a
Yeah,
ball.
yeah, which is even better. I loved it.
So it's worked out well at the minor leagues. As a person that worked there for a number of years doing this, it was drilled into us as the person that had to, as one of the jobs, you had to make sure the right batter was up because the strike zone changes
For the batters,
based
height.
on the batter. Yes. And so you have this was someone else's job. Each batter has their height and width, I guess.
So they calculate strike zone from
you
that.
have to have the right batter up at all times, no exceptions.
Yeah.
So the strike zone changes. So the umpire gets the right balls and strikes. And I did ask one like there's an umpire official. There's a person that goes to every major league game just to watch the umpires. Did you know that?
No.
To watch how they're doing. And I'm sure they had words with the third place umpire last night.
Oh, yeah, probably.
But anyway, I asked him one time, I said, what if you get a rogue umpire who hears ball in his ear and goes, strike one? I said, what do you do? Well, during the game, nothing.
Yeah.
But they won't be around very long if we get a rogue umpire
Oh
that goes
my
off on
gosh.
his own. They won't be around. So they're probably not going to do that.
Right.
Especially in the minor leagues when they're trying to get up to the major leagues. So so they tried it in the minor leagues for a number of years. It's working out very well. And they tried it during spring training the last couple of years. There hasn't been any real arguments about it. So we start it up next year and see where it goes.
All right.
See where it goes. All right. All right. That'll do it for the show for today. Thank you very much for listening in as always. So, Melissa Smith, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me. See you next week.
All right. Very good. And Tim Draper, thanks for coming in.
Adios. See you next week, and enjoy the God-given day,
Very
everyone.
good. Thank you very much. This is Joe Callahan. Stay tuned for Gary Smith and the crew. Do you remember us coming up after the 9 o'clock news?
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is WOON Woonsocket Radio. And now, the news.
NBC News Radio, I'm Lisa Taylor. Jimmy Kimmel's return to the airwaves featured him jumping right into the controversy that got him suspended by ABC last week. During an emotional opening monologue last night, Kimmel didn't directly apologize, but he did reach out to those he may have offended with his comments about the death of conservative activist Charlie Kirk.
You understand that it was never my intention to make light of the murder of a young man.
Kimmel also defended free speech, noting that while his show may not be that important, what is important is we get to live in a country that allows us to have a show like this.